What is up, everybody? Lemons Not Limes here, and welcome back to another episode of Playing with Palettes. Here we are, standing in our creation from last week, the church. Still looking good. Haven't touched it at all since it went up. So yeah, it's a good time. But we are excited and we are ready for another little episode to go. So yeah. Well, let's hop right into it, y'all. Alright, here we are at blockpalettes.com again. All this good stuff. Yeah, we're up to 754 pages now, so let's go. Alright, page 679, and we are going to get number 6 again. I believe we got number 6 last week. So this will be fun. Let's hop right to it, my dudes. So here is our beautiful page 679 with some great little palettes on it. But we want number 6, and here is our 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Alright, so this palette is number 1620. We don't have a user. They usually have their user up there, but this is a mysterious one. I like it. So we got orange terracotta, polished blackstone, a quartz pillar, red netherite brick, spruce log, and obsidian. This is very, very bizarre, actually. This will be interesting. So we have moved slightly away from our previous creations. And we got our new creations. So yeah, let's check them out. We got our spruce, the quartz, the obsidian, the polished blackstone, the netherite bricks, and the orange terracotta. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to say about this. It's quite interesting. This will be a fun little build, because I will be honest, my mouse is still broken. Well, it's not broken, it needs batteries. So we're going to see if it dies. I mean, this is not going to matter to you, but it's going to matter to me for how long this build's going to take if my mouse is going to die in the middle of it. But, you know, let's just go. Let's just hop into it. Well, starting off on this, I honestly do not know what made me think, let's make a boat. But I made a boat, and I need to give a shout out to Lord Dakr. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but he is on YouTube. I'll make sure I link his video in the description. That helped me a lot just to figure out like the shape of the boat and stuff like that, because it's really hard when all you have is a cube and you need to make curves and stuff like that. You need to make things be smooth and all that stuff. It's hard to get that with a cube. That's one of the challenges of Minecraft, but also, you know, one of the things that make it unique. But as you can see here, the boat I made was primarily made out of spruce, which I think is a good thing for a boat. I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. But anyways, I used the orange concrete and the red netherite bricks kind of for that little pathway up, and then polished blackstone for details around the masts. The masts themselves were made out of the quartz, and then I used the obsidian for like portholes or cannons, however you want to view it. More of a decoration piece than anything, but they are definitely not as heavily featured, the obsidian. But honestly, like, when I was thinking about this build, there was a lot going on in my head, and I'm sorry, I keep clicking, I keep going, don't know why, but y'all, we're just gonna go with it. But going with this build, it was a lot about shape and a lot about feel. And a lot about the details. With my other builds, I haven't really gone into detail as much as this one, but this one did require a lot of detail. So I used like stairs, buttons, lots of ladders, lots of fences. The fences were key in this one, trapdoors, all of the sorts. So obviously once I got this main shape down and kind of where everything's at and what was, you know, everything gonna be made out of, that's when I started detailing the boat, putting in like the railings. Up there I put a little platform for the steering wheel. I could not figure out a wheel for this. It was kind of impossible. I don't know what was up with it, but it was really difficult. The steering wheel didn't turn out very well, but that's okay. But yeah, so this build was lots and lots of fun. Just trying to figure out and trying to shape. Here I'm stripping the wood. At first I kind of did it randomly because I just wanted some variation within the spruce logs. But after I kind of was thinking about it, I was like, it looks kind of ugly. Rip, but I sat down and decided to make it wear. So most of the strip logs kind of on the bottom, kind of taking in a sense of realism of that there is going to be, you know, wear on the ship, whether it's from rocks or just from battle. So I kind of had that in mind. So I had a lot of the wear, the strip logs around like the portholes, and then on the bottom of the ship, not necessarily anywhere else really. And then also while detailing it, kind of keeping in mind this sense of realism, I thought, well, what else are they gonna have? So I thought, oh, they might have like an emergency boat, or just like something, you know, that they can go out in and raid or whatever. You know, they're gonna have a little extra boat that allows them to get to land and stuff. So we made a little extra boat on the side, and then of course one way it has the boat, the other side has like a way up and down. I don't know. I know nothing about boats. I know port and starboard, and that's about the knowledge of my boats goes. For the masts here, originally I had them just straight, but that video I talked about earlier, I was kind of like glancing through it. It's like a 4-hour video by Lord Dakr. It's an awesome video, but I was like glancing through it, and he had his mast kind of this shaped way, so I was like, sweet, yeah, that looks a lot better and adds a lot more movement to it. So that's what I did. And then for the canvas of the sails themselves, I used gray wool to kind of add a little bit of variation from the white wool. And let's be honest, like sheets, sails, whatever they are, usually are not just pure white. If we had like an off-colored white, that would have been awesome. But I didn't really want to figure out the shape of the sails, and also I didn't feel like it had enough room, so I decided to use the sails that they were like rolled up. You know, they were sitting at sea. I don't know, but the sails are up, so I used trapdoors kind of as the rope tying them together. And then for the wheel, what's that called? The steering wheel. I think there's a specific term for it, but I cannot remember for the life of me. I used like anvils and stuff to kind of build it up, and just slapped a trapdoor on it. It doesn't look really good, but I had no idea what to do. And then for the rope, kind of, you know, dotting the ship. Of course, they're all covered in rope. I used oak wood because that looks a lot like rope, fun fact. And we just kind of draped it around. I tried to do what made sense. So I tried to think, okay, if I had to keep a mast up, you know, what points of contact would I want that to keep it steady in high winds and stuff like that. And of course, just add a little bit of sense of realism and fill in the space. That was one of the things as well when looking at the ship, is that there was just a lot of empty space on it. And so using these ropes in quotes really helped it kind of bring it together and fill in the space, and definitely add that sense of realism. So I've talked about this realism a couple of times while talking about this, and I believe about my other builds, but I feel when you are struggling with what should I do with like a build, and you don't know how to detail it or what to add to it, like honestly think about the real world. Like if you're making an old building and you're like, well, I don't know what else to do with it. Like think, okay, well, an old building, there's going to have some cracked foundations, so you can throw in some cracked blocks or make some blocks different and lighter in a way, you know, that is different than just having straight, you know, one colors and stuff like that. And so that's a good way to upgrade your builds, is just bring in a sense of realism and bring in the real world. But back to the pirate ship. For the inside, I kind of separated into 2 quarters. So we had like the captain's area, and then we had the crewmates areas. And so for the captain's area, I split it up into 2, where we had 1 like a little desk, and then 2 where he sleeps, and like some storage and stuff where he might keep his treasures and booties. And then I threw up like a bunch of paintings on the walls, and I threw up a little map on the other corridor, just so like, oh, these are like his spoils, and he wants to flaunt his wealth, so he's got all these things everywhere. And then for the inside of the crew area, definitely made it a lot less nice. It's just kind of, everything's kind of crammed in there. You know, you want as many people in there as you can, and so it's not as nice as the captain's area. Again, kind of trying to bring in a sense of realism. But for one area, I had like a jail, and then I had another area dedicated to storage, so that's where they keep their food, their water. Again, more pirate booty. And then the last area that we had down here in the, I believe it's called a keel of the ship. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. But the last little thing in this is where we have the crew itself, right? Where everyone's gonna sleep. You're gonna have some of your personal belongings, though I probably am guessing not much. You probably don't have many personal belongings. But I threw down beds, because usually they're hammocks, but there's no way to make hammocks in Minecraft. Surprise, surprise, unless you use a mod, and I ain't about that life. So, here we are. I threw up a bunch of white beds, again, to kind of match that canvasy hammock feel. And then with it, with all this good stuff, we put trapdoors underneath, and then again use the oak fence to like simulate rope, to represent rope, to have them hanging from the rafters. And then I just shoved in as many beds as I could in there to kind of show that, you know, this is not a comfortable space, and there's just so many people just straight up in this little area. Well, boy, oh boy, we are done. I am like insanely proud of this build. This is really out of my comfort zone, and I am just so happy with how this turned out. Like, dang, I'm like, not to toot my own horn, but like, dang, I'm good. But yeah, it was fun. This is kind of a crappy steering wheel, but what are you supposed to do? Like, the ropes, they look awesome. Our little cabin here looks great. Also, I need to show you kind of all the stuff. Here's a little map I made. Of course, we only have 3 builds right now, so it's not, you know, it's not very big, and it's very green, but, you know, eventually we'll get more builds, and it'll look kind of cool. But, you know, captain's quarters, everything like that. Got some masts. And go down. Got a little jail cell. I don't think I showed you that. And then over here, this is where all the storage is, where you can put your pirate treasure booty, and of course where the crew sleeps. But my gosh, dudes, that was so much fun. For like the first like week of doing this build, I had to put like everything in like 30-minute intervals, because, you know, my mouse was like dying. But now I got batteries, so it's all good now. But yeah, I am really happy with this build. I'm going to fall off. I can't walk like this. But I'm really happy with how this build turned out, and I'm just like, whew, it's so cool. It's so cool. Anyways, yeah, my gosh, I just don't even know what to say anymore, but I'm just so happy with this. I think it looks so cool. Oh my gosh, I would totally build something like this again. But thank you so much for watching. I had a good time. I hope y'all had a good time. But I will see y'all later. Be kind, work hard, do all that good stuff, and yeah, goodbye.